Hey, welcome to Blue Pen Land, huh? Okay, so we've got a formula for pressure, okay? This is what those things are, so write this down. So pressure is defined as the force per unit area, and this is really easy because anybody knows that like units of pressure are, what, pounds per square inch, right? PSI, right? Okay, so anybody who's heard a unit of pressure knows the formula, right? It's a unit of force divided by a unit of area. And what you need to know about this is that fluids exert, and by fluids I mean solid, by liquids and gases, not solids. Okay, fluids exert a force on a container because it's made of little particles that bounce off the container walls, and yeah, okay. And when these particles bounce off, if there's enough of them, it becomes this constant, steady force, right? And we're talking about moles of atoms, right, bouncing off the walls of the container. So that's what causes pressure, is the molecules, and I've got a really good demonstration of this, the molecules running into the walls of the container and just exerting a force on it as they bounce off of it, right? It's a purely elastic collision. That's why it keeps going forever, right? Okay, so let's see, we got pressure. The unit of pressure that we use is a Pascal. A Pascal is 1 Newton of force over a square meter of area. Needless to say, this is a ridiculously small unit of pressure. Okay, a Newton is like a quarter of a pound. A square meter is ginormous. I mean, if you think about a pound per square inch, that's 4.45 newtons over a much smaller area, right? So this is a very small unit. Sometimes people talk about kilopascals, right? And this is, of course, just 1,000 pascals, right? Even if you have kilopascals, you still have something like, what, 101 of those or something in an atmosphere, where there's only 14.7 pounds per square inch in an atmosphere. So a kilopascal is still kind of a small unit, okay? But Pascal it is for us, because that's newtons and meters, and baby, we're physicists, right? With MKS units. So here's an example problem. I'll just do one for you. I'm going to use pressure is force divided by area, right? My area is just length times width. Do yourself a favor when you're doing these problems, turn them into meters first, okay? Because very few people understand that there's actually 10,000 square centimeters in a meter. Everybody thinks there's like 100, okay? So my area here is 0.15 times 0.25, right? 0.15 times 0.25. I'm just dying to see what that is. That's 0.0375 square meters, right? And the force on this thing is going to be, it's kilograms, right? So I think we're talking about the force of gravity, right? So force is mg, right? So that's going to be 2.4 times 9.81, right? Times 9.81, 23.544. And that's newtons, and now all we have to do is just plug those in, right? 23.544, right? Divided by 0.0375 square meters, and we'll have newtons per square meter, right? So divide that by 0.0375. Allegedly, the answer that I'm getting is 627.84, right? But now the question is, how many sig figs? I guess we have 2 and 2 and 2, so we gotta have 2, which is 630 pascals. Pascals is spelled, yeah. Pretty cool, huh?